Good morning to one and all. I am Professor Shreya Trivedi from AKDMC Jamnagar. This is the lecture for SYBA SEM 3 of paper number 16 main English. Those who are having main English, it is for them. Okay, in the previous lectures, we have studied about the age, that is the romantic age, which is being portrayed in this paper. Then we have studied about some of the famous writers of that age. Then we have studied about Jane Austen, of which one of the unit is all about, that is Jane Austen's novel Emma. Then we have studied about Emma, the novel, the summary of it. Then we have studied character list. Okay. Then we have gone through the themes, and today I am going to discuss about the plot construction of Emma. Okay, plot construction in the novel Emma by Jane Austen. First of all, let me tell you that what the plot is all about. Okay, plot means what? The series or events which are being described in a film or a novel. Okay, the series of events means what? One after the other event, the series, the chronology, that is said to be the plot. Okay, some generalizations should be kept in mind when one considers the plot of Emma. Some general aspects should be kept in mind while uh, giving the answer for plot. Perhaps first should be a reminder of seeming leisureliness with which Miss Austen puts her story together. Practically none of the material is in the usual sense exciting, that is, there is a little external climatic action and there is no adventurous action. Okay, we have seen that there is little external climatic, there is little only discussion about external actions. Okay, while there are no adventurous actions, we can see no adventures in this novels. In every novel of Jane Austen, there we can't see any of the adventures action. Primarily, the reasons are that it is a satirical novel about social manners and mores, and that the satire comes from the effects of emotion than from emotion itself. Okay, the reason behind writing this novel was that satire on the social manners which were dwelling at that time. Okay, and this satires come from the effect of emotions, means what? The result of emotion being portrayed, the effect of that, that is seen in satire form in this novel. Okay, the emotion itself is not considered a satire. However, the novel will appear leisurely return only on one's first reading. Okay, if you read the novel, then you can see that you can make out what the novel is all about in its first reading only. That it is that simple. Once the reader knows the outcome of events and repeats the novel, he will find that it is one of the most tightly knit works ever done. Okay, and if you read continuously, okay, we can say 3 or 4 times, then you will understand that how finely the plot is being arranged and how in a chronological way the work has been written by Jane Austen. For since much of the book is plotted for purpose of irony, that is, which shows the difference between intention and performance, or the difference between what a character knows and what others, including the readers at times, know, the repeating reader can uh, relish the minuteness with which Miss Austen has prepared for and then exploits to the full the misunderstanding and the foibles of the people in a provincial community, especially those of Emma. Okay, we can see that mostly the book has considered uh, totally ironical. Okay, the misunderstandings and everything you have seen in the people among the community, everything. Okay, thus we can see that Miss Austen, that is Jane Austen, has properly constructed the plot and her characters. For instance, all that Frank Churchill does and says on the party to Box Hills takes on the meaning of double-entendre for the rereader, who now discovers that it is leisurely only in appearance. Similarly, one can sense the irony in how Emma misconstrues Mr. Elton's gallantry or Harriet's attachment for Mr. Knightley simply because the characters are too mannered to speak directly. Okay, even the sense of irony we can see through the miscommunication among the characters in the Emma, where uh, she cannot uh, get what the feelings of the characters are. Okay, because at that time the manners was such that the characters, especially the love, will not be expressed through words directly. Okay, so this created the miscommunication, and that created plot very well in the minds of readers. The plot structure of the novel is regulated in part by division in 3 volumes. Okay, it is divided into 3 volumes. In volume 1, Emma deceives herself about Mr. Elton's, and that deception reaches its climax in his declaration in the carriage. Okay, the scene of carriage where Mr. Elton uh, proposes Emma. Okay, that is said to be the plot in volume 1. Volume 2 shows her deceiving herself about Frank Churchill and getting over it in much less climatic fashion. Okay, all the things which are being there with Frank Churchill is being mentioned in volume 2, while volume 3 continues her self deception about people but reaches its major climax in the ultimate revelation about herself and George Knightley. Okay, in the third, she continues of self deception. She gets to know about everything one by one, and at the end, at the climax, she has the revelation about herself, about her love for George Knightley. Obviously, many other developing facets are involved, but in brief outline, these are the 3 rising and falling stages of action in the novel. So, these are the 3 rising and falling action in the novel. In W.H. Hudson books, if you have studied, then these things have been very well portrayed, the rising and falling action, the climax. Okay, everything is very well being discussed. Okay, so these are the 3 rising and falling action stages of action in the novel. Only the last one, however, is final for Emma throughout, is more and more self-deceived, though at the same time she is also moving towards self-knowledge, which will let her come to terms with herself and her situation. Okay, only in the final plot only she gets to know about everything, which makes her clear what actually the truth is, what actually the truth is all about, the society in which she is living. Okay, so it gave her the self knowledge. Okay, and it is said that the knowledge which we gain by ourselves are will remain with us every time. Okay, but if the knowledge is given by anyone else, it can be, yes, it can be with us for a long time, but not that much compared to the self knowledge. Okay, so at the end she has the self knowledge of moving towards it, and she and her situation gets stable after every thing. This is only the skeletal plot structure, and it is fleshed out in many ways. To comprehend this fleshing out, the reader should remember that the motive force for plot in fiction is generally one or more of 3 kinds of conflict: man against man, man against environment, or man against himself. Okay, generally 3 types of conflicts are seen in this novel. The men against men means human against human, the human against environment, or the human against himself. The force of men against men is incidental but important to overall satire of the novel, and can be seen in social maneuverings of various characters. Okay, the first conflict, that is men against men, can be seen in various characters. Okay, we can see um, many incidents which shows that there is a conflict between men and men. One of the incident is all about Miss Augusta, okay, and Emma. Okay, there is a conflict between them. So that is the conflict of men against men. The force of men against environment is seen primarily in terms of Emma versus her social milieu. Okay, the men versus environment means there is an incident where Emma is against the society. Okay, so that is said to be the conflict of men against environment. She goes against the accepted manners and social ranks in trying to manipulate Harriet either from or into the social and personal lives of other, where she uh, tells Harriet or convinces Harriet to uh, marry Mr. Elton, okay, because she thinks that he is the perfect suitor for Harriet. This incident shows the conflict of men against environment. Emma, but the most consistent plot force is the novel is men against himself. Emma is constantly deceiving herself and is thus in conflict with herself. She is always deceiving herself, okay, and this created the conflict with herself only. All the three motive forces for plot then are found in Emma, but the last two predominant and are in essence the same. Okay, all the three motives of conflict are being seen in this novel, but the last two, that is men against environment and men with himself, are largely being seen in this novel by Jane Austen. She has accepted the code of her society, but at the same time, due to her imbalance of imagination and reason, she wants to go against it. Both the code and her opposing willfulness are important to her, hence conflict. Okay. Uh, she wanted to get her imagination also fulfilled and her practicality also being fulfilled. Okay. And this created a conflict between herself. Okay, so that shows that the conflict between men with himself is predominant in this novel. The overall pattern of plot movement is rather classic. Emma's conflict begins when her willful imagination is released by the loss of Miss Taylor. Her situation is like volume to be filled and fulfilled in accordance with her nature. Okay, the plot movement is classic, means it is seen that earlier novels conflict has been seen in this also. Okay, and Emma's conflict begin when at the beginning of the novel she is being released with sorry at the beginning of the novel when she is getting alone because of the marriage between Miss Taylor, yes, Miss Taylor and one of the oldest gentlemen. She felt disillusioned, okay, and this created vacuum in her life. The result is continuous rising interest for the readers as Emma's self-deception realizes and manifests itself. The major climax, the highest point of reader interest, comes in chapter uh, 11, 12 and 13 in the final volumes, followed by an unraving denouement. This movement, designed to increase readers' interest, can be charted like the rising, peaking and falling on a graph. Okay, every plot is in a chronological way. Okay, everything has rising, peaking action and falling action. Okay, this can be charted in the novel very easily, very finely. Finally, other major plot pattern used in the novel is that of contrast. Plot manipulation not only arranges to juxtapose significantly different characters, Frank and George for instance, but also often develops a special rhythm by placing introspective scene or chapter next to one of the social interaction. Okay, another major plot pattern can be seen among the characters also. Fine rhythm has been created. Okay, and every chapter is in connection with the other one. Okay, and the social interaction is very well been portrayed by Jane Austen. Thus, the plot is quite complex with more than one element often working at once. Okay, so we can here see that plot is very complex. Okay, many things are getting in one and being presented by Jane Austen, composed of classic pattern, contrast, and planned general social satire. All facets are based upon conflict. Though not as obvious as the others, even the last mentioned elements, that is, men against men, stems from the conflict between social intention and performance. Underlying all of these conflicts is the motive of comic irony. Okay, this is quite complex, and we can see the conflict of men against men, that we can see through the difference between, or we can say conflict between social interaction and performance of a person also. Okay, what the society has provided him or her, that and his or her performance of being in a society, there creates a conflict between them, and this creates many of the conflicts, and this creates a great plot in this novel. Okay, underline all these conflicts is the motive of comic irony, and at the end, what is the motive of this novel? That is comic irony, where irony of the society is well being portrayed, that too in comic situation, or we can say through comic way. The satire of the society is well being portrayed by Jane Austen through her characters in this novel, and that too in a comic way, so that the readers can get what she wants to tell, and the interest also remains the same from beginning to the last. Okay, so this is all about the plot constructions which are seen in the novel Emma by Jane Austen. Okay, in the previous in the previous lectures we have studied many of other things. Okay, in the next lecture we will study something different, and till then you please revise what all things we have done. Okay, and till then revise everything. Okay, don't forget to comment your name and roll number in the comment section, and please revise again and again. I'm telling you that revise, because it is necessary for a student to revise all the things. Okay, thank you, and we'll meet in the next lecture. Thank you.